Little Jamie, little Jamie, we're sure glad you are here. We're sure glad you are here. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I've been so very busy lately, but I'll get into that on another video. Today, I wanted to get into a church appropriate makeup tutorial. Or maybe not church appropriate, maybe like something that you could do quickly before church. Because church is Sunday morning, and you know, if you're anything like me, on Saturday, that's a day that me and my husband and family, we can unwind and relax. Sometimes we might go to a movie, or people have birthdays and weddings on the weekends. Sometimes you stay out a little later than you intended. And then when you get up on Sunday morning, it's like, oh my God, church. But you don't want to look a mess. Going into the Lord's house, you look nice everywhere else. So this is a quick makeup tutorial that is pretty much my go-to these days on Sundays. And it's pulpit appropriate if you are serving. That's important, right? I think so. I'm going to be using some products that I've been really enjoying lately. I don't have any makeup on yet. I didn't do, curlers. I didn't do my eyebrows yet. I didn't do nothing yet. So that's why I look a mess. But in a minute, I'm going to transform. I'm going to be using this this Bare Minerals Bare Pro. If you don't have it, get it. It's wonderful. So, without further ado, here it is. Okay, so it is always important to moisturize your skin under your makeup, and today I'm using the Oil of Olay Complete All Day Moisturizer with Sunscreen. It's the broad spectrum SPF 15 for sensitive skin. It has vitamin E and aloe, and I really have been enjoying it lately. Just a tip, it's probably a good idea to do this like before you iron your clothes so that you can give it a chance to dry before you start your makeup. Next, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. It's supposed to be a perfector as well, but I really enjoy this. I never believed in primers before this, but this one gives your skin a glow. It kind of mimics that 16-year-old glow, so if you're over a certain age, I definitely recommend this. Next, I'm going to go in with the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Full Coverage Foundation. I just bought this and I really like it. It's full coverage, but it's for everyday wear. I'm going to be blending it with the brush that they suggest for you to buy with it. It's the Luxe Performance brush, and it really blends it in nicely. It's important to note too that it has a SPF of 20 in it. So I used the moisturizer I used had SPF in it too, but I have used it before, so I knew it would be okay to use with this foundation. But just be careful of that if you're using a new moisturizer that has SPF in it, because sometimes it could come off a little too greasy if both the moisturizer and your foundation have SPF in it. Next, I'm going to be using the absolute best concealer of all time by Dermablend. It's the Smooth Liquid Camo. It's the medium coverage concealer, and it's in the color Cedar. In Dermablend, for any of you who know, a medium coverage for Dermablend is really full coverage. So I'm just going to put it underneath my eye and blend it with my Real Techniques blending brush. I love this little thing. Just patting it ever so lightly. You don't really want to rub under your eye too much. That's never a good idea. Your under eye is a very sensitive area, and sometimes when you rub, it can cause problems later. Next, I'm going to do a little trick. On this day, I felt like there looked like I had lines under my eyes. So if you ever want to get rid of lines under your eyes, you put the concealer right under the line that you're trying to conceal, not over, but under. You see where I'm pointing? That's exactly where the concealer goes under, right under that line. It sounds crazy, but it works, believe me. You want to blend ever so lightly. Less is more when we're talking about makeup. And especially if you're using that Dermablend concealer, this will really work. If you've had a long night or you just have lines under your eyes, this gets rid of it. So now I'm getting started on my eyebrows, finally. I'm using this brush. I'm not really sure where I got it from. I don't remember. Ooh, ugh, yuck, hair. Ugh, gotta clean that up. Where did that come from? Disgusting. Anyway, sorry. I'm using this brush. I don't remember where I got it from, but the main thing is you want to have a brush with small bristles when you do your eyebrows, or either a pencil that's really sharp. I'm using a brown color in my Smashbox palette. No, you don't have to use that palette, but that's just the one that I grabbed. In order to do my eyebrows, I basically draw a thin line underneath and a thin line up top. Pay no attention to my dog. She loves looking out the window. And then I fill it in the middle. As you can see, I don't go all the way to the front of my eyebrow. I kind of like to leave that blank so that when I blend it in, it looks more natural. If you want a more detailed tutorial on this, let me know. As you can see, I'm bringing my eyebrow only to the end of my eye, because when you do it any further, it just looks crazy. Now I'm just going to blend so that the part where I started my eyebrow and my natural eyebrow can blend seamlessly. And then I'm going to set my brow with the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. This stuff is amazing. If a hurricane comes, your brows will still be in place. Next, I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to go in with the color Antique Bronze. This is a perfect color for a daytime appropriate smoky eye, or even if you're not used to doing smoky eyes, you're a beginner, this is perfect because it's not so dark that it's going to mess up if you're not good at blending. You're just going to pack this onto your lid, not all the way up to your eye, not all the way up to your crease, just right on the lid. And this is perfect because if you want a little darker effect, you just put more layers. If you don't, just do one. And I'm just going to pack that on and just blend it a little. I really suggest lighter colors for smoky eyes if you're not used to it. Next, I'm going to go in with the color Real Gar. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. I'm using the brush that came with the palette, by the way. And I'm using the small edge to just put that color into my crease, just on the crease, and you just want to go back and forth in windshield wiper motions. Don't blend it up to your eyebrow or anything. Just keep it right in that crease area, right above where you put the antique bronze color. And I'm just sweeping back and forth, back and forth. Again, this is something that you add more layers depending on how dramatic you want it to be. Next, I'm going to clean off the brush. This is very important because before you start blending, you want to make sure nothing is on the brush. So now I'm taking the clean, fluffy side of the brush and I am just stroking it back and forth above that line that I just created, just so that there will be no harsh lines and the color will look a little more airbrushed above my eye. Next, I'm going to go in with the color Tempera, and this is going to be for my brow bone. I didn't show it, but I did clean off the brush before I did that. You want to make sure to do this because you don't want orange spots underneath your eye. And you just pack this color right underneath your brow bone, and you again brush the brush back and forth in windshield wiper motions until the white is just a light dust underneath your brow bone. The reason for doing this is to mimic the natural lightness underneath your brow bone. Next, I'm going to go back in with this Real Gar color, and I'm using the smaller side of the brush this time. And I am going to put that color underneath my eye, and I'm just going back and forth again with windshield wiper motions. Just to kind of smoke out the bottom of my eye, but I'm using this color because I don't want the smokiness under my eye to be too dark. This is a daytime look. Now I'm going to next go in with the Cypress Umber color and just going to darken it a little bit because that Real Gar color is a little orangish, and sometimes orange under your eye can make you look sick or tired or something. So I'm just going to darken it a little bit with that Cypress Umber. And as you can see, I'm not really bringing the color all the way to the inner corner of my eye. I'm just bringing it to the middle. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is blend that out so that there are no harsh lines. Once again, I cleaned the brush and I'm just going back and forth with no extra product on the brush, just to blend out what I just did so that there are no harsh lines underneath my eye. Harsh lines are not your friend when you're doing makeup. Next, I'm going to be setting my foundation with the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. I love Mineral Veil. It's the setting powder for Bare Minerals, and I'm using the MAC 150 brush. What you do with the Mineral Veil, you just swirl it around your brush, and then you tap off the excess, and then you blend, 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 blend. This is a wonderful light setting powder. Sometimes with more full coverage setting powders, it can make you look like you have on another layer of foundation, and you do not want that for a morning church makeup routine. Next, I'm going to take my MAC 187 brush, and I'm going to be using the color called Warmth by Bare Minerals. Warmth is like a contour color slash blush slash everything wonderful you need. It just gives you that warmth that you would have on your skin if you got like a tan or something. You're going to swivel that around on your brush. Again, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to put this starting at the top of my cheeks because that's where the most product is going to be, and you don't want darkness right at the center of your face. And I'm just going to blend, blend, blend in circular motions. I'm also going to put it on my forehead just as sort of a contour, because again, this color is like a contour slash blush, but it's kind of subtle. And what I like about it is you can make it deeper if you put more layers, but for this, of course, it's a morning routine, so I only put like 1 or 2 layers, and this is just to give some warmth back to the face after I had all that foundation and setting powder. So next, I'm just going to be using the Urban Decay Luminous Naked Illuminated Shimmering Powder for Face and Body on as a highlight. I'm using the fan brush that comes with it, and I just put that on the tip of my nose, above my lip, above my cheekbones, on my forehead. As you can see, it's not a crazy highlight, and my face already has a little bit of a glow because of that primer that I used in the beginning. Ain't no joke, okay? But you know, you just dust this wherever you think you need, and I really like it because it gives a little shimmery effect. Next, I'm going to go in with this mascara by L'Oreal, I think it is. I'll put the information in the description box, but this really, it doesn't matter what mascara you use because I'm just doing this for the purpose of being able to see my eyelashes so that I can put my false eyelashes right over top of it. If you don't want false eyelashes, you can skip this step. Okay, so now I'm just gonna get my false eyelashes out, and I'm using my good old duo glue. This is the best glue, I think. As a tip, if you were rushing, if you have the kind of glue with the brush on it, you could put the glue directly on your eye and you don't have to wait for the glue to dry. But I had an extra time at this video, so I just put the glue on there and did something else, let it dry for a moment. Next thing I'm going to do is use my Laura Mercier powder to set my under eye concealer. Now, because I didn't use an extremely ridiculously white concealer under my eye, I'm using this powder to set it, and it's going to give my under eye a little bit of a highlighted look without being too dramatic, because I mean, you know, we are going to church, not the club. So I'm just going to use this to set the under eye, and I'm just dabbing with my Real Techniques sponge, and then I'm using my MAC 185 brush to blend it out. And as you can see, it just gives it a little dust and gives a little highlight effect without being too crazy. You want to make sure you blend this out really well though, because if you don't, because it's the same color as baby powder, basically it's going to look like you have baby powder all over your face, and you don't want that. I forgot that you should never do your under eye setting powder after your highlight because it covers it up a little. So I'm going back in with my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector highlight. This is a very prominent highlight, so you only want to be ever so light with this. I'm using a fan brush, and I'm just brushing it over my cheeks ever so lightly because I don't want to be shining like a disco ball because we're not going to the club, but I do want to mimic a heavenly glow. Next, I'm going to set my beautiful work with the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. Now, this is a cooling and hydrating makeup setting spray, and I really like it. I just got it. You can use any one you have, though. Next, I'm going to go in with my matte lipstick. This one is the Too Faced Melted Matte in the color Queen Bee. And if you do not have this, girl, go get it. It's the perfect matte pink mauve mixture. You could just wear it every single day and it looks beautiful winter, spring, summer, or fall. Now I'm going to slap those eyelashes on. That glue is good and tacky by now, and I'm just placing the eyelashes as close to my lash line as possible. That's how I do mine. And no, I'm not using any tweezers because I'm old school. I've been doing this for a long time, so it works for me. If you'd like a detailed tutorial on this, however, let me know and I will do one. But this is how I do it. It works for me. Probably not the best idea if you have long nails, although I have done it with long nails and it's worked for me perfectly fine. But if you do have long nails, you probably will poke yourself in the eye. You might want to use tweezers. See that? The glue is nice and tacky and it's working well. These are the Ardell Wispy lashes. They're perfect for every day. If you're looking for lashes that you can wear every single day, I would strongly recommend any wispy lash because they look really natural. But then they also look dramatic at the same time. And just like that, you are ready to give God some praise while looking your absolute best. So, this is the look. It was quick and easy. You don't necessarily have to use everything in the video that I use, but I will put the information in the description box of everything that I did use in case you want to get it. But you can use things that are similar. This takes all of like 10 minutes and it's very beginner friendly. If you're not used to really doing makeup like that, or you're kind of a beginner, maybe you only wear makeup on special occasions, this is the look for you. And it's church friendly, so you know it's sultry but not like, oh my god, where do you think you're going, to the club? You know, you can feel pretty and look your best for the Lord. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not already, like and subscribe, and if you want me to do more of these videos, let me know. Until next time, bye. Thank you so much for watching, and before I forget, make sure you check out my new album, Lift Him Up. It's available on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Tidal. It's everywhere. You can check out any of my videos right here on my YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And until next time, bye.